Hello and welcome to Nationwide, reaching you live from Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Thanks for joining us. The ECOWAS Commission has presented a budget of $398,044,626 to the ECOWAS Parliament for consideration and adoption. This is $24,388,000. The 2021 ECOWAS budget is to be funded through community levy, year-end bank balances, arrears of community levy proceeds, arrears of contributions, other incomes and external funding. NTA Fine Face reports that expenditure will comprise allocations to institutions, statutory obligations, special programs and interventions in member states. Consideration of the budget is ongoing at the virtual ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament. The National Examinations Council, NECO, has released the results for the 2020 school-based senior secondary school certificate examination, with 73.89% of the candidates obtaining 5 credits and above, including English language and mathematics. Registrar and Chief Executive of NECO, Professor Godswill Obioma, who announced the results, also stated the resolve of the examination body to conduct make-up examination for candidates who missed some papers due to EndSARS protests. Fatima Usman reports.
Despite the challenges by the COVID-19 pandemic and conduct of the May-June senior secondary certificate examination in October-November, the success recorded is thus higher than that of 2019.
Number of candidates who made 5 credits and above, including English language and mathematics, is 894,101. representing 73.89%. Compared to 2019.
There is, however, good news for 223,000 candidates across Abia, Edo, Enugu, Ekiti, Kano, Ondo, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, Lagos, Rivers States, and the FCT Abuja, who had their exams disrupted by the EndSARS protest.
The affected candidates will now sit for those papers missed during the forthcoming 2020 SSCE external, scheduled from Monday, 1st February 2021 to Wednesday, 3rd March 2021.
The examinations body celebrates the declining rate in examinations malpractice, with 2.61% compared to 3.53% recorded in 2019, attributing it to deployment of biometric verification devices and strengthened monitoring strategy. Students can now log on to the National Examination Council's website using their registration numbers to access their results. In Mina, Fatima Usman, NTA News.
When the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, announced suspension of its strike, 9-month strike, students, parents and indeed everybody received the news with excitement. However, an end to the protracted disruption of academic activities in the public universities seemed not to be in sight, as another industrial action is looming, this time by Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities. Abdullahi Musa Sulija takes a look at this development.
There was virtually no aspect of life that was not negatively affected by the coronavirus pandemic throughout the year 2020. However, for the Nigerian education, especially universities, the magnitude was severe. Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU began industrial action even before the commencement of the COVID-19 national lockdown until the twilight of the year 2020 in December precisely, when it cut off. But as if that is not enough, ASU's sister union within the university community, the Non-Academic Staff of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, raised an eyebrow over what it described as insensitivity to its demands by governments dating back to 2009.
In 2019, in June, a reminder was written in the same respect. Nothing was done. In July, the same 2019, a reminder was done.
But the question on the lips of many is how sensitive is the union to the plight of students and parents who continually are to bear the brunt of the endless industrial actions.
I have two of my own biological children that are at the University of Abuja. So I should be happy seeing my children going to school.
Observers believe that amicable resolution is the best way out of the needless protracted disruption of academic activities in the nation's education system in view of its strategic place in nation building. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Now with me in the studio to talk further on the implication of another strike in Nigeria's universities is Professor Ashams Musa Mesamari. He is the immediate past Dean of the Faculty of Education in the University of Abuja. Thanks for coming to our studio, sir.
Thank you.
Now let's start this way. We're just celebrating resolution of issues between the federal government and, of course, Academic Staff Union of Universities.
Yes.
But now NASU and SANU seem to be on the go.
Yes.
What does this do for tertiary education in the country?
Well, I think the development is very unfortunate to everybody, to both parents, university administrators, and even ASU that has just called off its strike. The instinct of every academic is that the students should be on the campuses for us to do our job. But then strikes always come as a result of the last option left for unions. My take on this is that it is going to affect not just the psyche of the students, not just their performance, but the national image. Yes, the unions have a right to a strike, but I think it should be better strategized. In my thinking, if they have issues that are common, why don't they present them at the same time so that they are resolved at the same time instead of waiting for one to be resolved only for the other to pick up from there? It's like it's a deliberate attempt to cripple the institution.
As a university don, what feelers are you getting from students and parents over another strike?
Of course, nobody is happy about it. It's a disappointment. It's a disappointment. That's the feelers.
The two unions under the Joint Action Committee, they've both made true its threats and they started the warning strike.
Yes.
Can you go a bit deeper into some of the things you think they could be demanding for?
Well, they have spoken and I cannot speak for them, but I believe one of the things they are, questioning is the ratio of the distribution of the unacademic allowances that has been approved. And the question the ASU would ask, which I'm not speaking for them, is where were they when they were submitting their computation of what they are asking for, only for you to wait until somebody has submitted his expenditure or expectation, and then you say, out of that, give me. And that's why I feel as an academic that they would have done better. When ASU was computing, they should have equally computed their own. If government is able to say, okay, out of whatever you have submitted, I'm giving you so percent, it goes according to the ratio of what you might have submitted. I think that would have been more reasonable. But I know they also have other issues beyond the unacademic allowances, which again I will plead with government. Once agreements are entered, it should not be taken lightly, so that people don't come and go several seasons like this, disrupting sessions that affects not just the standard and the quality of education, but the image of the nation.
Professor Asham Musa Mesamari, the immediate past Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Abuja, thanks for coming into our studio and sharing your thoughts on Nationwide.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Jennifer is in our Lagos Network Center with an overview of the health sector in the last year and projections for this year. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you for joining us. Now, in furtherance of his administration's demonstration to sustain effective and speedy delivery of justice, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in 2 High Court judges in the state. Musa Toliat reports that Governor Sanwo-Olu described the event as historic because one of the judges is the youngest to be sworn in since inception of High Court in Lagos State.
Administration of oath on the newly appointed High Court judges sets the tone for the event of the day. The swearing-in of 40-year-old Honorable Justice Ramon Adeshola Oshodi has been described as a positive development capable of revitalizing the judiciary arm of government in Lagos State. Justice Oshodi, who started his legal career in 2007, has served the state and country in various capacities, including his involvement in the enforcement of contract reform initiatives on the ease of doing business in Nigeria. He was also instrumental in the development of framework for the practice and procedure of the Small Claims Court in Lagos State in 2018. Honorable Justice Olubukola Florence Aibuhevo started her career in Edo State as a senior magistrate grade 2 in 2005. Until her appointment, Justice Aibuhevo was the head deputy sheriff department in Lagos Division in May 2020, before she was later appointed deputy chief registrar, special duties, Lagos Division.
By the grace of God, myself and my learned brother will administer justice in Lagos State with integrity, with uprightness, without fear or favor.
I will be working with you to ensure that all you require, you get it very, very quickly. And all of the promises we gave you last year, we're fully aware of it and will not shy away from those responsibilities.
The High Court of Lagos State has never witnessed the appointment of judges below the age of 50 years. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
And on health, with COVID-19 still ravaging the world, medical experts insist continuous strengthening of the health sector is necessary to contain the fast-spreading unseen enemy. In this report, Hingino John Adams tells us how the sector fared in 2020 and prospects for 2021.
The year 2020 came with an unforgettable challenge, the coronavirus pandemic. This affected almost all sectors globally, but the impact was felt more in the delivery of healthcare services. The pandemic made key players in the health sector, like Dr. Muina Forora, to redouble their efforts towards contributing positively to the delivery of qualitative healthcare services through research on COVID-19 and innovations that will help in containing the virus.
We also started working on formulating an RNA extraction kit. We tested that as well, and it already works. The institute was able to identify or detect COVID-19 using the RNA extraction kit for RNA extraction.
Humanity witnessed a roller coaster ride through 2020. The challenges did not hinder some achievements in the Nigerian health sector, like the country being certified polio-free in August by the World Health Organization.
COVID came and we were able to do our best to tame the scourge, and I think we did reasonably well within the available resources.
2021 is here, and many are hoping that the sector will consolidate on its achievements.
If you study the budget for 2021, you'll see the great amount of money that federal government is pumping into revamping our institutions. For this, we are grateful.
We need to strengthen our primary health care system. We need to look inward, strengthen our supply chain management, work on our essential services, look at solutions and interventions in the context of our African situation.
As Nigerians reminisce about 2020 and hope for a smooth 2021, medical experts are still advocating compliance with COVID-19 preventive protocols. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Time for a break. Ayodeji Makinde will continue in Abuja afterwards. Stay tuned.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest asset the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
A new edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy, Maxwell Lobo gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Dropping 2 points from a winning position last week, Wolverhampton Wanderers will be excited to welcome struggling West Bromwich Albion to the Molineux Stadium. Will West Brom prove an easy 3 points? Find out as Wolverhampton Wanderers take on West Bromwich Albion on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m. this Saturday. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Gold.com.
Glad you're still with us. Latest figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, shows 1,398 new cases of coronavirus has been recorded in 22 states and the Federal Capital Territory, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 103,999 in Nigeria. Out of the new infections, Lagos reported 542, the FCT 131, Oyo 120, Rivers 113, Plateau 111, Kaduna and Kwara 71 each, Akwa Ibom 34, Sokoto 31, Benue 28, Ogun 27, Kano 26, Kebbi 17, Oshun 12, Nasarawa 11, Delta and Gombe states 10 cases each, Bayelsa and Borno 9 each, Edo 8, Ekiti 3, while Jigawa and Katsina confirmed 2 new cases each. Lagos, the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau and Kaduna are top on the breakdown of cases per state, with 20,062 cases active being managed across the country. Discharges recorded in the last 24 hours include 317 community recoveries in Lagos State, 241 in Kwara State, and 134 in Plateau State, all managed in line with COVID-19 guidelines, and altogether 82,555 have been discharged so far, with some 1,382 deaths on record. The safe reopening of schools amidst the raging second wave of COVID-19 will require proactive synergy and commitment of all stakeholders to uphold and sustain COVID-19 protocols to mitigate the spread. On Good Morning Nigeria, key players in the education sector are unanimous that schools are not super spreaders since activities are structured and monitored in most schools, but call for the buy-in of parents and caregivers. Lydia Sampson reports.
The COVID-19 protocols are not new, and it is expected that students so far are also familiar with the new normal in schools. The concern, however, is the raging impact of the second wave, which has necessitated a new debate on whether to reopen schools or not on the 18th January. Educators have argued that the continuous closure of schools will compromise the educational standard in Nigeria.
We have the disparity in government schools and we have the disparity in private schools. If we now, government now decides to also extend, the date, it will definitely affect the whole system.
We are to end the calendar for 2020-2021 in September. The only thing that is different there with other sessions is that duration of the holidays are reduced.
They said with the already disjointed academic calendar, as well as the cost of data and smartphones mitigating proper e-learning, there is need to blend face-to-face interaction with online learning.
We have covered over, in fact, the second and the third term, and they were able even to send some exams material to students to now test to see if we are communicating with the students using the TV, the radio, and the Google Classrooms that we've been using.
We are appealing for unlimited internet access, that does not get capped at a reduced rate for, the schools and then, the children too.
They add that education is a key component of development and cannot be put on hold due to COVID-19 as the world navigate how to live in the new normal. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Now, in another development, compliance with COVID-19 protocols has been a major challenge for most Nigerians. Let's join correspondent Salwal Khalil Ibrahim on a situation report from Utaku Market.
It is always a beehive of activities here at the Otago Central Market. However, people here always tend to forget about the current reality, which is COVID-19. From what I've gathered, there is no any hand washing point here, and then we could see people in clusters. People are not many people are wearing their face masks. Some people have asked, will always give one excuse or another.
Honestly, I forgot it at home. I forgot it at home. That was I have it. I have many of them.
You also have a family at home. Are you not concerned?
I'm concerned. I believe that nothing will happen to my family.
My face mask there inside my bag. I wear it. I forget my distance here. There is no money in my bag. I forget my wallet inside the car. I say let me return back.
Let's not forget that many state governments have constituted a task force to enforce those protocols, but people still tend to be taking it lightly. It's over to you, Ayodeji.
Thanks, Salwa. That's quite disturbing, but surely COVID-19 is real. The National Youth Service Corps says adherence to COVID-19 protocol before, during and after orientation exercise is non-negotiable. Director General NYSC Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim was speaking while fielding questions from journalists on the level of preparedness for the next NYSC orientation course, billed to commence in less than a week.
Reporting to account will be tested, and those that are negative are the ones that we are allowed into camp. Those that are positive, the NCDC, very capable institution, will always handle and treat them. We have already met with the NCDC where we review the two streams, and I assure you that we are going to have a hitch-free exercise. All that is better of us is that everybody must take responsibility and play by the rules.
Meanwhile, the NYSC and the National Council for Arts and Culture are partnering on ways of empowering core members in the country. This was made known at a meeting in Abuja. Oyinaya Kalu Oka reports.
The National Council for Arts and Culture and the National Youth Service Corps share similar mandates to foster national integration in the country. At the meeting, the Director General NCAC, Olusegun Roshewe, said it is necessary for both organizations to work together. Emphasizing the need for skill acquisitions for the youth, the DG noted that the council has trained more than 2,000 Nigerians in 4 states on different skills.
Our youth involved in drug, sex party, cross-dressing, etc. And if a gentleman like Mala Ibrahim, the DG of NYSC, could come to feel the pain and say, look, how do we help the youth? Every country that wants to progress must always think of how to position the youth, who are the leaders of tomorrow.
Director General NYSC Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim commended NCAC for its efforts in fostering unity through culture, stating that the partnership will go a long way in bringing about development.
So that we can leverage on the experiences of the Arts and Council and Culture, so that we can train some of these core members, the best that we selected, so that we can train them, so that they can enhance their further performances.
The DG, National Council for Arts and Culture, appealed to institutions not to reject core members posted to them, as both parties agreed to strengthen the relationship in the fight against violence and other vices engaged by the youth. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
Kaduna is next on Nationwide, and we shall be having an update on the Commission of Inquiry's findings on alleged police brutality. Let's join Amina Saidu Abubakar.
Many thanks, Ayodeji. Welcome to Kaduna. More than 50 petitions have been filed before the Judicial Panel of Inquiry on alleged police brutality in Kaduna State. Haruna Mohammed reports that so far 18 out of the petitions have been mentioned and now at hearing stage.
Before Justice Nyom David Shiri are petitions of allegations of various forms of brutality ranging from brutal arrest, alleged prejudicial killing and detention. At this stage, 7 petitions were presented with one already at hearing stage and witness available to testify. While the hearing got heated up between the petitioner's counsel and respondent on behalf of the police, DSP Martins Danjuma, Justice Nyom adjourned the case for further presentation of other witnesses.
The Nigerian Bar Association, Kaduna, the Nigerian Bar Association, Zaria, Nigerian Bar Association, Kafachan, and Banawa branch, they all agreed that they will handle issues for their time free of charge. And that's why when anybody comes and says he has no lawyer, we feel these are very sensitive matters that they should go and seek services of people who have the technical know-how.
Hearing and mention of the petitions have been adjourned to 21st, 25th and 28th of January respectively, as sittings continue on Tuesday next week. Submission of petitions closes at the end of January. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
To effectively respond to emergencies through systematic approach and improve on staff competency, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has embarked on a Train the Trainer in Kano. Yohannes Hassan Baro reports that the workshop is a collaboration between NEPA between NEMA and the Red Cross Society.
Organized under the COVID-19 protocols, the training is aimed at acquainting the staff of the Commission with first-hand information on how to effectively respond to emergencies, as demonstrated by the trainers for better understanding. Director General of the Commission, AVM Muhammadu Alhaji Muhammad, retired, says the training, which is in line with the policy and guidelines of the agency, also engage officials of the Red Cross to cross-fertilize ideas on how to manage emergencies without fear and confusion.
To have a robust working staff, the agency feel it's arranged this particular program to train our staff to improve their competence.
With what I have seen so far, they are responding and they are cooperating and they are performing well.
The participants speak.
Everybody is supposed to have the requisite knowledge of how to manage basic first aid. Basically, it's just how you can help, before the arrival of medical personnel.
A lot of demonstrations that you need to equip yourself with, and most especially if you look at emergency and other scenarios that are in place.
The workshop is expected to reach out not only to the officials of the agency, but the nation in general. In Kano, Johannes Asambaro, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja. Deji in Abuja.
January 15 every year is commemorated as Armed Forces Remembrance Day. As the milestone is marked this year, the presidency says it is also providing ample opportunity to chronicle current landmark achievements by the military in tackling security challenges in the land towards fulfilling the constitutional requirements of government, guaranteeing the protection of lives and property. In a statement by Femi Adesina, Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, the presidency says internal security has improved significantly, with Boko Haram much weaker today than in 2015, and the security situation in the northeast sub-region is far better under the Buhari administration. Similarly, under the Defense Headquarters coordinated operations from March to December 2020, the armed forces neutralized 2,403 criminal elements across the country, in addition to scores of other terrorists and armed bandits killed during airstrikes, with 864 kidnapped victims rescued. Also, large cache of arms, ammunition, and equipment were recovered during the period, with 46,581.8 barrels of stolen crude oil and 22,881,257 liters of stolen PMS recovered by troops. The presidency adds that the federal government is investing heavily in military hardware to improve the ability to embark on particularly difficult military operations, such as the rescue of 344 kidnapped boys of Government Science Secondary School, Kankara, Katsina State. The Defense Media Operations says more than 80 insurgents and bandits have been neutralized in a sustained approach to rid the country of criminal elements. Coordinator Defense Media Operations Major General John Enenche was speaking during an update of military engagements across the country. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
At the weekly briefing, the coordinator, Defense Media Operations Major General John Enenche reveals that forces of Operation Lafayette Dole Air Component neutralized many bandits, recovered rusted livestock, while few soldiers sustained injury in an encounter with Boko Haram and ISWAP in Kaurana Moda. A major breakthrough in the onslaught of insurgents in Goneri, Goji and Gujba at Alagama village in Sambisa by Operation Turata Kebangu continued with domination of West Theater of Operation. 30 terrorists were killed in another encounter and several equipment and weapons belonging to Boko Haram terrorists destroyed in Yobe State. In North Central, Operation Wild Stroke and Safe Haven neutralized bandits and rescued kidnapped victims in Mararaba Odege in Nasarawa State and apprehended cultists, recovered rustled cattle in Kuru, Plateau State. Operation Delta Safe intercepted and arrested 1,184 of 25 bags of Yaroliva nitraba fertilizer suspected to be smuggled from Cameroon.
Security is everybody's business, and the general public is a major focus, very, very important in the architecture of security or securing your area or the whole nation at large.
The Nigerian Navy, in collaboration with Forward Operating Base ex-Cravos, conducted anti-crude oil theft operation and discovered 215,000 liters. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
On Friday, January 15, Nigerians will be marking Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Many have been sporting the Remembrance Day emblem. But how much do citizens understand the significance of acquiring and wearing the emblem? Defense correspondent Niger Delta Tijani investigates.
October 1st heralds Independence Day and the commencement of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem appeal launch, when citizens can be seen wearing the emblem for months until the culmination of the Remembrance Day on January 15th. But do they know its origins and understand its significance?
The emblem, as we are made to understand, is all about our fallen heroes. That is those that have died in the course of duty, serving and securing our nation.
You are not wearing one?
I don't have one, but I want to get one now so that at least to show my support for what they have done and what they are doing at the present.
Emblem, I think to raise for the fallen heroes. Emblem signifies the remembrance of the fallen heroes, which is our soldiers that fought to bring unity to this country.
Others are not so knowledgeable about it.
I can actually tell because I see people going around with it, but I don't know what it signifies. I don't.
Can you at least hazard a guess?
I can't recall.
However, for Musa, a native of Kano State who has been selling the emblem for more than 5 years in Abuja, knowledge and sale of the emblem are more than a means to earning a livelihood.
Emblem.
So, kuma menene mahimmancin emblem din?
To muhimmanci suna tunawa da sojoji na baya da suka mun nan.
What Musa doesn't know, however, is that the tradition of wearing the emblem dates back to 1915, when Canadian poet, soldier and physician Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae penned "In Flanders Field" as a tribute to soldiers who died in the Belgian War and were buried in Flanders Field. This flower bears a striking resemblance to the Nigerian Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem. However, it is not the flower. It resembles the poppy flower which McCrae based his tribute on, and in soldier folklore, the red color of the flower comes from the blood of soldiers soaking the ground, as the flower is said to have first been noticed around soldiers' graveyards. Since then, the poppy has been adopted as the flower of remembrance for the British and Commonwealth war dead. Niger Delta Tijani, NTA News.
And still with Niger Delta Tijani, because I understand she's standing by with details of preparations for the wreath-laying ceremony at Eagle Square on Friday, January 15.
Preparations are well underway to ensure that this area where the monument commemorating the unknown soldier is in tip-top shape for the president and other dignitaries to lay the wreath.
Those canopies that you have here, they are canopies that take 50, but we are going to take 50 off, and it will be given 25 in each of the canopies instead of the 50, so that you can give that social distancing. And there are going to be LED screens for people who actually want to pass by to view.
Right over there.
Okay, that cage is basically for the pigeons. You know, pigeons signifies peace, where the president is expected to open that cage for the pigeons to fly around, show a peaceful environment within the city.
And just across the road from me is Eagle Square. There's not much going on there right now. There are a few police vehicles, patrol vehicles, marking the area to ensure top security. And the road, because of COVID-19 protocols, is not so busy. But come tomorrow, it's going to be completely cordoned off. Vehicles will not be allowed to drive along this part of the road to ensure maximum security as the event is going on. And that's the current situation for now from the Eagle Square, and I'll be giving you more updates.
Thanks, Najatu. Up next is Ibadan Network Center with Lanri.
Good to see you at DG and welcome to Ibadan. The federal government is set to construct an international gemstone market in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekun Adegbite, said this during the handover ceremony of 2 hectares of land allocated to the project by Oyo State government. Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
The project is part of the initiative of the federal government to facilitate its economic recovery plan across the nation. Minister of Mines and Steel Development stressed that the international gemstone market will not only boost Oyo State economy, but also encourage foreign investment and impact on the southwest region of the country.
Chose to promote gemstone trading, which was already going on in Ibadan, in an informal market at Ojo. So the whole idea is to formalize it. It's an international market, and of course enhance the trade that goes on there.
Oyo State Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources said the state has embarked on measures to enhance the development of a solid mineral sector and position the state to benefit maximally from the opportunity available in the sector.
His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde has always maintained that he wants to diversify the economy of Oyo State and that mineral resources was going to play a significant role.
Minister in September 2020 visited Governor Seyi Makinde and solicited the support of the Oyo State government in developing the mining sector. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Ahead of the federal government's February 9 deadline, applicants for the enrollment of the National Identification Number thronged the office of the National Identity Management Commission in NECO to get enrolled. Tokwe Halabi has a situation report.
The rush by applicants was to beat the February 9 deadline directed by the federal government for all telecommunication subscribers to link their national identification number with their SIM cards. I have been coming since last week before I got it done this week.
They are calling some names and then they call us and they told us that we have to put down our name and come back on 1st of February.
While the Commission insists on strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols, release who had besieged ECOWAS from Afon, Ilara, Idofa, from Afon, Ilara, Idofa, Iwoye, Okeagbede, among others, were all at the mercy of a capturing machine and 2 staff to meet up.
That is unfortunate. They have to give you at least more than 5 so that you will be able to attend to people in Mekwafo.
One system is not enough for this local government. It is very, very disturbing. You need at least 2 or more.
With the only available system being used to enroll people for the NIN here in Imekwafon, 10,000 people have so far been enrolled out of the 82,217 population of the area. From Imekwafon, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
We apologize for freezing pictures in their reports. We now go on break. Nationwide continues with Abubakar in Maiduguri.
Life can be very eventful. We curiously expect things to happen, even when we don't know what. Our human nature makes us like and repost lots of information. Some are unverified, inciting anger and hate. Sometimes innocently, other times the urge to break it first. This, in most cases, has caused destruction in many nations.
Do you know that 35% of every girl child and women are raped on a daily basis? Some are killed in the process, some take their lives in shame, others remain emotionally dead for life. It is sad. This culture is not ours, definitely not African. How did we allow bad culture to infiltrate and take over? Even if you lack fear for the law, what of fear of God? And you, why do you cover up rape acts when it happens? Remember, a problem shared is a problem half solved. Never cover any rape act because a rapist is a murderer. It could be you or your loved ones next. Women must be treated like the prize giant they are. Say no to rape.
NTA News 24. A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
Star Times channel 101 and Free TV channel 703.
Join us.
After dropping 2 points from a winning position last week, Wolverhampton Wanderers will be excited to welcome struggling West Bromwich Albion to the Molineux Stadium. Will West Brom prove an easy 3 points? Find out as Wolverhampton Wanderers take on West Bromwich Albion on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m. this Saturday. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Gold.com.
And your 2 weeks training teachers organized collaboration with Ilmu. Governor Babu.
Sincere apologies for loss of audio from our Maiduguri Network Center. Let's continue nationwide in Abuja because the federal government says it is poised to ease difficulties and post-harvest losses faced by farmers in the country as it embarked on construction of rural roads to link them to markets. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Sabo Nanonu, who gave the assurance, charged contracts handling the project to speed up completion. Alwal Salisu reports.
Majority of farmers in rural communities of Nigeria lack access roads for transportation of their farm produce to markets. To ease their sufferings and aid socio-economic development, the federal government embarked on the construction of rural roads across the country. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Sabo Nanonu, while inspecting the ongoing construction of rural roads that will link 8 communities in Kaba local government area, urged the contractors to mobilize back to site and ensure timely completion of the project as agreed.
We told them what to do, and if they don't do it, then we don't pay them. Simple.
Yaureba expressed satisfaction with the level of progress recorded in similar projects at Tofa and Gorka local government areas. Some of the people in the area thanked the federal government for the gesture.
We really appreciate the effort of Mr. President and his Minister on Agriculture.
The project, when completed, is expected to reduce post-harvest losses and ease access to farmlands by farmers. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, is taking proactive steps to address development concerns in the Niger Delta region. Minister Godswill Akpabio says 52 developmental projects in the 9 Niger Delta states are ready for inauguration. Joseph Johnson reports.
New Year, new resolutions. Same could be used to describe the thrust of this meeting as the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, resets the modus operandi in addressing the plethora of issues confronting the region.
Our first major year was 2020, and so we have worked assiduously hard to see how we can accomplish and also complete most of the ongoing projects that we made. Some of them started as far back as 2011, some 2012. We are quite satisfied that despite the difficulties of the year 2020, particularly with the COVID-19 pandemic, the different lockdowns and all, that the ministry live up to expectations.
The essence for the review of the year 2020, they say, is to ensure that things are done differently in 2021.
There was impunity. The management of NDDC did not believe that they have to be accountable to anybody.
The timelines are set. The question now is, how soon will the issues begin to change with the newly adopted approach? Well, the activities hereafter will tell. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
Stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress in Kwara State have described as illegal the purported removal of Bashir Omolaja Bolariwa as the caretaker chairman of the APC in Kwara State. While addressing journalists at the party's national secretariat in Abuja, leader of the group, Akogun Oyedepo, appealed to the leaders of the party to reconsider the decision in the interests of the party in Kwara State. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Building peace among party faithful is among the critical responsibilities of the Governor Mai Mala Buni-led APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee. The committee's purported removal of Kwara State Caretaker Chairman of the party and the subsequent engagement with these critical stakeholders informed this briefing, where they made their position clear.
The Secretary of the National Caretaker Committee told us that the chairman is said to have been removed on the complaint of the Governor of Kwara State. The content of the complaint was not made available neither to the critical stakeholders of the party in Kwara State, nor to the chairman, Honorable Bolariwa. We appeal to Mr. President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, to save the party from the imminent destruction that this decision can engender in Kwara State. We also appeal to the leaders of integrity and goodwill in the party to save this party from this deliberate journey to political partition.
They, however, appealed to their supporters for calm and remain steadfast while efforts are being made for normalcy within the APC in Kwara State. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Despite the COVID-19 pandemic that affected shipping and port activities, the Nigeria Customs Service Area 2 Command on Air River State says over 18 billion naira was generated in 2020. Briefing journalists on the achievements of the command in 2020, Customs Area Controller Mohammed Awal says the figure is over 11 billion naira higher than the revenue generated in 2019. Robinson Derateide reports.
The increase in the generation of income by the Nigeria Customs Service on Air Area Command is attributed to the determination and due diligence of the service, even in the face of COVID-19. The Area Controller, Mohammed Awal, says on assumption of office in September 2020, the command recorded a total of 13 billion naira monthly collections for the first time.
118.9 was collected in the year 2020. And 107.3 was collected in the year 2019. So there's a difference and excess of 11.6 billion, which is an achievement to the Area Command.
The command also made a seizure of 19 different items, including over 8 million 25 milligram tablets of tramadol, agricultural products and clothing, all under the import prohibition list. Those suspects are currently being prosecuted in court.
In the area of export, we recorded a total quantity of 2,577,803.31 metric tons of cargo with free on-board value of $63,497,688.03.
From One Cargo in River State, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
And now sports. Nigeria still in contention at WAFU B Under-17 tournament. Details of this and more with Kene Emma Agbodike on Sports Update.
The ongoing WAFU B Under-17 Cup tournament enters semi-finals on Friday with Nigeria's Golden Eaglet set to take on Burkina Faso at the Stade Gegué, Lomé, Togo at 6 p.m. Recall that the Golden Eaglets were handed a lifeline following Côte d'Ivoire's 3-1 defeat of Black Starlets of Ghana. Meanwhile, the Baby Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire will face Niger Republic in the other semi-final fixture same Friday at 8 p.m. Winners of the semi-finals will battle for the diadem on Wednesday next week at the Stade Gegué and also qualify for the CAF Under-17 Cup of Nations built for March 13 to 31 in Morocco. Still on football, Mauricio Pochettino won the first trophy of his managerial career as Paris Saint-Germain beat Olympique Marseille 2-1 to win the Trophy de Champion in Lens in his third game in charge after being appointed earlier this month. The victory continues PSG's dominance of French football, winning 19 of their past 20 finals in domestic cups and now Trophy de Champions for the 8th year in a row. And in tennis, former world number 1 Andy Murray's participation at the Australian Open is in doubt after the Briton tested positive for coronavirus. The 33-year-old, who remains in quarantine and isolating at home in London, is said to be in good health and hopes he will be allowed to travel safely at a later date and compete as planned. The Australian Open saves off on February 8 at Melbourne Park, 3 weeks later than usual because of the coronavirus pandemic. With Sports Update, Kene Emma Agbodike, NTA News.
And sports rounds off nationwide from Abuja today. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Enjoy the rest of your evening.